Disclaimer. The following podcast is not sponsored by the WWE or AEW, nor is it a direct product of either company. The opinions, views, and thoughts discussed here are those solely of the participants and do not reflect the thoughts, views, or opinions of the WWE/AEW, its staff, talent, affiliates, or management. The following podcast is for mature audiences and is for entertainment purposes only. What's up, everybody? Welcome to the very first episode of the Bevil podcast. I'm Evil, that's Beans. Together we are Bevil. This is a wrestling podcast. Here we're going to talk about all things WWE and AEW. It's our first go, so let's hope this goes well, yeah? So, first topic on the agenda today, we're going to be talking about what's going to be going on this Friday. Very, very interesting. So AEW'S Tony Kahn has basically come straight at Vince McMahon and the WWE and has basically called them out. And the quote, I believe, from Tony Kahn was, "I think that we can put on a better show." Now, my thing is that WWE SmackDown is still running for their allotted 2.5 hours. I believe Rampage is only, what, a 30-minute show?
30 minutes to an hour. Yeah, something like that. Really, it's quite short.
Yeah, so that's a pretty bold statement to make, saying that you're going to put on a better show than WWE with less time. You've got your little bit of time to really, wow the audience. Not that that's been a big problem for them anyway, because let's be honest, AEW has been killing it week after week after week.
100%. 100%.
So I think, it's an awful bold statement by AEW, but I do think that they have the ability to pull it off.
See, right, so the way I see it is, obviously when AEW first started, like the first pay-per-view, which I believe was the Casino Royale, was it?
I think so.
It was fantastic. I mean, bro, I've never seen anything like it. I'm being dead honest. It's different, It's gonna be quite tricky, Like, it's like I was telling you earlier before the podcast. Vince is gonna have to pull something big, really big.
Right, and you and I have had this discussion before. The thing with Vince is, I feel like when Vince gets backed into a corner, he starts reaching into the hat. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And trying to pull different superstars out of his ass to compensate for what AEW is doing. Obviously, let's take it back to CM Punk's debut. Honestly, one of the loudest crowd reactions probably to date that I've personally heard or witnessed. Like I said, the only one that I can remember being a bit louder than that was the Hardys' surprise return at WrestleMania. Now, so AEW officially brings on CM Punk, and at, what was it, SummerSlam, we got the return of Becky Lynch and Brock Lesnar. So that was excuse me, that was WWE's response to CM Punk, which, to be honest, I honestly think that Brock was solely responsible for those ratings. It was cool to see Becky back, but the way that they brought her back is obviously that's got controversy around it. Um,
Yeah.
that whole match being 26 seconds long, you
I
know.
know it's ridiculous. You know, they didn't have to do Bianca like that at all. They really didn't have to do it like that.
Well,
You know,
that's Vince for you though, man. Like, I honestly think that Brock, you know, see, that's the thing. A lot of people don't like Brock because Brock is, what they call, a part timer. He comes, he goes, he does whatever he wants, and they keep him away for so long that when he comes back, he's guaranteed that massively big pop. You know what I mean?
right.
So they got what they wanted, but I still personally don't think it was good enough.
See, how long has it been since Lesnar's been gone? Ever since Reigns beat him, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So like, the thing that I think people are getting annoyed about is the fact of obviously Brock held it for a very, very long time. You know, so they don't want a repeat of that again because they're doing it to Reigns right now. They're literally doing exactly the same what they did to Lesnar. Like you've had Reigns beat so many like brilliant wrestlers. You know,
Sure,
and you're like, wow, like why have you let him just do that? Like Cena, for instance. Yeah, fair enough. If Cena won the championship, it'd be different. Don't get me wrong, it'd be good, but would it be good? You know, because obviously there's going to be more upfront. Like, how can I put it? So obviously, if Cena wins the championship, everyone's going to go crazy. Like, oh my god, Cena's won it. But then who's going to take it off Cena? Could it be Lesnar? Could it be could it be Drew McIntyre? You know, just like I was saying as well, they need something very, very different. You know, something that is unexpected. You know, like, don't get me wrong, if Lesnar gets it, Lesnar gets it, do you know what I mean? But I don't see, this is what we had a discussion about as well. I don't personally like Lesnar that much. I did, but the way they've used him, they've sort of pulled him out for me. You know, they could have done so much more, but what could they really do? Like, they've had the title on him for God knows how long. You know, so I'm just like, really, we're going to see this again? You know, I don't really want to see that again. Or like, for instance, Big E. Big E's obviously the champion, right? But it's brilliant. You know, I think that's great. It's different storyline, different. You know, but with Lesnar again, I don't want that happening again. If I'm being honest, you know. So
sure.
That's my opinion on that.
I mean, and like with Big E, right? I think that it shows that he's able to stand on his own without the New Day, which I've always thought that anyway. It's no secret to anyone who knows me personally, and if keep in mind that this is my opinion. So, but feel free to drop some comments, let me know what you think. I've never been a fan of the New Day. I don't like the New Day. I don't like the gimmick. I think it's cheesy. And by and large, a lot of reason that I don't like the New Day is because of Xavier Woods. I don't like Xavier Woods. I don't think he's believable. Like, he's a decent enough talent, but he's a fucking goof. Like, I don't know. I like Kofi at one time was a believable solo talent. But take Kofi for example. You've got a guy who started off as a Jamaican wrestler, right? All of a sudden, one time in the ring, he ends up slipping. Triple H calls him out on it and goes, "Wait a minute, aren't you Jamaican? It seems like your accent's kind of going in and out there." Then all of a sudden, he just went to straight regular old Kofi, and then we end up with the New Day. Why?
See, this is where, like, I have to disagree. You know, on my opinion, you know, I think when the New Day first started, I thought they were brilliant. You know, when they started bringing out these pancakes and, you know, the trumpet, it is cringy. Yeah, it is very cringy. I will admit, it is cringy. Like, fair enough, I understand they've gone to the PG era, and I understand, you know, it's kid friendly, but come on, you know, like fucking RK Bro. You know, I think they're brilliant. I love them. I think they're fantastic.
Okay.
You know?
Okay. So we'll touch on RK Bro, but go ahead, finish up about the New Day.
You know, like so the New Day, I think it's a bit childish. You know, like they had when they work together, they have potential. I will admit that they can work together as a team, 100%.
Yeah.
You know, but they need to just cut out all the corny, all the just very cringy stuff. That's what I'm just like, no, it's not right, you know. Well, it's not right, you know. But yeah, they just need to cut out the cringiness. Now, if they was ever to, I guess they haven't really like departed from each other. I mean, they're just doing their own thing at the moment. But like, if they was to ever go back into the trio again, you know, they need to change it up. They need to be more like, they're not answering like fairies, shall I say, you know. So in a way, I agree with you, but you know, so I'm like in the middle with that one.
It just, you know, it seems like it's almost too cheesy, like too kid friendly, too appealing. Like, I understand what WWE was trying to do. They were trying to appeal to, you know, the younger generation, and especially when they got super involved in, you know, Make-A-Wish and then all the anti-bullying campaigns. You know, I get it. It's at the end of the day, man, let's call it what it is. It's all marketing. You know, they're trying to bring in as many new fans as they can, but they did a great job at alienating us older fans to where it's like, bro, we don't want to see this. Like, this is, you know, you've taken something that, okay, we get it, we understand why you're doing it, but the novelty is gone. It's not cool anymore. Like, not that I ever thought it was cool to begin with, but, you know, but like I said, I understand why it was done. Now, you mentioned RK Bro.
Right.
You want to talk about cringy, okay? So, fucking, basically, essentially, in my opinion, what the WWE did there was they recycled, yet again, another old idea. And anybody who is a WWE fan will know exactly what I'm talking about when I say rock and sock.
Right, okay, yeah.
Okay, so they took a serious wrestler at the time, Dwayne The Rock Johnson, and paired him up with fucking Mick Foley. Okay? And at the time, Mick wasn't, you know, super corny or goofy or anything, but for whatever fucking reason, they thought it would be a brilliant idea to stick a fucking sock puppet over him and have him team up with a super serious wrestler. That being The Rock. You know, so let me sit up a little. So anyway, the thing is for that time, it worked. I don't know how it worked, but it worked. And I guess the only reason that I would be able to say was because The Rock did have that comedic sense of timing. He wasn't always so serious. He still had that comedic aspect to him. So they were able to feed off of one another. Then you fast forward several years later, and they stick a fucking stoner goofball with probably the most no-nonsense wrestler in WWE. Like,
See, this is the thing. I really, really like Riddle. I think he's brilliant. I do, honestly. Like, I remember when I watched him on NXT, right? Well, I think it was his first match. I can't actually remember when. It was a while ago now. But I just remember him coming in, kicking off his flip-flops or whatever they were. You know, and his first match, he done really well. I mean, you look at Ronda Rousey, for instance. You know, they both came from UFC or MMA, whatever. Do you know what I mean? And the fact what they could show. You know, Ronda Rousey's first match was it? Where was it? It was WrestleMania against Stephanie, wasn't it?
Stephanie, yeah.
Pretty sure it was. Yeah. You know, like, she was brilliant. Oh my god, like, you know, like, Riddle was brilliant as well. It's like, I want to get onto the subject of NXT as well when we go like along, which good and bad about it, because I have quite a bit to say about NXT. I ain't gonna lie,
that'll be for
Riddle
another time.
Yeah, we'll have another time. But I think Riddle is really good. Like, he's a brilliant wrestler. Generally, that's what I think. Anyway.
So I don't think that he's a bad wrestler. He's not a bad wrestler, but like I said, they've back in the day, it was obvious that RVD was a stoner, right?
Right.
Okay, but in them trying to follow the whole PG era, like, they're trying to push that Riddle is an airhead without straight up coming out and saying that he's a stoner, or that's what he's supposed to be.
You can see he's a stoner, the way he talks, you know.
Well,
like,
you know, but obviously, like, at the end of the day, we all know that it's a gimmick, you know. We know that that's not him in real life, or who knows, it might be.
I'm pretty sure I watched his Chronicle and he's exactly the same. I'm pretty sure I did. I'm not even joking.
I mean, maybe, but like I said, so they took, you know, getting back to my original point, they took an absolute fucking goober and stuck him with a super serious wrestler. You know, hold up. So not only did they do it with Rock and Sock, RK Bro, but they've also done it again in the women's division.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you know exactly what I'm talking about.
Rhea and almost a superhero.
Superhero. Yeah.
Yeah, I can't believe what they've done to Rhea. Oh no,
Bro, so, like, I don't get the appeal of sticking these airbrained, you know, gimmicks with super serious wrestlers, and then it's the super serious wrestler's job to basically be like, okay, as cringy as this is, I'm gonna have to stick with it because we're hot right now. You know what I mean? Like, it's their job to sell it, obviously. But at the end of the day, man, it's like, ugh. Like, why?
but this is the thing. You can't really blame them for it. You know, because majority of the time it's not even their idea. Just like I remember watching an interview with. I want to go to that point actually. I'm just going to say it now. You know, I reckon this year alone, right? I think the best moment that's happened, which you're probably going to agree with me here, is Seth and Edge.
Oh, for sure.
100%. Like,
yeah, that promo of Seth going to Edge's house, that was absolutely brilliant, 100%. And I told you, I can't remember the last time that they've done something like that. I remember when Undertaker showed up at Paul Bearer's house and attacked him, but that was years ago. Like getting personal, adding that personal touch into the world of wrestling. Obviously that is Adam Copeland's real house. That is where he lives. And, adding that touch of, personal realism to it.
Yeah.
That personal touch, right? That's something we haven't seen in forever. That was beautiful.
I mean, I guess you could say they tried it with Rusev, in a way. Rusev and Lana and Bobby Lashley, that was a flop. In all fairness, I find that very disrespectful towards Rusev because apparently he weren't his idea. He weren't even his idea.
Yeah. I mean, like the other thing is when you go back to Edge, man, like I feel like Edge and Randy, and Triple H even, and most recently The Undertaker with the spot that he did with AJ Styles for WrestleMania, like I said, adding that family element into it is something that those guys, A, it's believable, B, like they're able to pull that sort of thing off. When Undertaker and AJ was being set up, AJ was making all those comments about Michelle and, blah, blah, blah. And as far as we know, from what Michelle said in the interview, she didn't know that AJ was going to do all that. Like, she didn't know that he was going to make those comments. Like, that was totally kept from her, which, again, made things more believable.
Right.
So I feel like in a way, like having Seth go to Adam's actual house, it was like, holy shit, like they went there, like they took it there. That is fucking great, because you know what, I thought, now here's what I thought that they were going to do it super fucking cringy and Edge was going to be at Seth's house, you know what I mean, be like, oh, you went to my house, now I'm at your house. So
yeah, man, I mean, like, I don't like what they're doing with Edge at the moment. Other than the Seth Rollins outfit is great, but before I don't actually like what they're doing with him. I don't like what they're doing with most people, to be honest with you. I mean that's WWE for you. You get it. Look, I'm not trying to call out WWE, do you know what I mean? But you're guaranteed disappointments. Like it happens,
Oh, they've been doing a phenomenal job at disappointing people, that's for sure.
Right.
But so basically, to tie all this back in, like I personally feel that WWE knows that they're on the ropes. Like, their back is up against the wall. There is a company, AEW's been around for what, 2 years?
Roughly, yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah, 2 years the other day.
Yeah.
Because they done a thing for Brody, wasn't it?
Yeah, they had their it was a anniversary show. So you have a company that is 2 years old, that is week after week after week after week destroying you in every way possible. Like, now, here's something interesting that I wanted to get your opinion on. And again, just for everybody listening, these are our opinions. They're not, anyone else's opinions.
I mean, feel free to drop your opinion down below. That's not a problem at all.
Absolutely.
We'd love to read it. We'd love to have a look and,
Sure. But here's what I think, right? Way back in the day, WCW had WWE on the ropes. They were kicking their ass night after night after night. And then by some stroke of fucking genius or luck or whatever you want to call it, WWE ended up winning the Monday Night Wars. So what I was always curious about is Rampage comes on after SmackDown. They don't share airtime, usually. Right. This Friday, however, they are sharing airtime. So literally the last 30 minutes of SmackDown are going to be airing at the same time as AEW Rampage. So they are literally going head to head. So what I'm curious about is AEW going to be able to pull off what WCW couldn't do? Because, like I said, they've only been around for 2 years. So, I guess what it all comes down to is the hype real or not? What are the numbers going to show? Will the viewership be there? Will there be a massive drop in viewership from SmackDown to Rampage? Like, what will? I guess Friday is going to tell a lot.
Well, here's a question for you.
Okay.
What one are you going to watch? Because if I'm being honest, I'm going to watch both of them at the same time.
Well, to be honest, you know what? I already know, or at least I think I know, what AEW is capable of. And I'm not saying that they can't surprise me anymore, but I literally can't remember a week now where I've been disappointed. There's some matches that, don't tickle my old wiener like, don't, like some of the other ones, but there hasn't really been a week to where I've been like, man, that's fucking terrible. What the hell are they doing? I guess I'm more interested to watch SmackDown. And the reason that I'm more interested to watch SmackDown because I want to see what they're going to do.
That's great, actually.
You got called out by a company that is way your junior, basically, and they believe 100% wholeheartedly that they are the better company.
See, it's like I said earlier, they're both brands 100% have an advantage and a disadvantage. What are they? I'd say WWE's disadvantage is probably, I don't even know. I can't see. I don't actually know. It's tricky to say because they do have advantages. I will admit that 100%. But lately AEW have been there 100%. See, if it was on a scale, this is my opinion. I think AEW there, WWE are there. They're literally just below them.
Right.
So when it comes Friday, I reckon it will change.
Oh, somehow, some way, right.
Or it's going to be very close. Very close.
Like, here's the advantage that WWE has. Obviously, they have tenure, which they've been around longer. They have those 100% dedicated fans. Like I said, man, AEW is still respectfully a baby. but they are literally growing up right before our eyes week after week, and it's just like holy shit. We haven't seen this since WCW. You know? Like, I had said a while ago that I hoped that AEW didn't blow their load too quick. Basically, I hope that they hadn't, signed everyone they could sign, and I hope they didn't crap out too quickly creatively. Because, like I said, if you give WWE an inch, they'll take a mile. And
Right.
in any kind of ratings race, you can't afford to slip.
Right.
So basically what it comes down to is, like I said, who's going to pull the trigger, who's going to pull it harder, and what is going to be that tipping point. Like what
You said, sorry, go on, carry on, sorry.
no, you're like what at this point could WWE possibly do to win not everybody back, but just for that night alone, win the people? What could they possibly do?
Bring back The Rock.
See,
Just for one night.
that's the thing. Like they're binging. They're bringing back.
Binging.
Yeah, they're bringing. Bing.
Binging.
They're bringing back Brock, obviously, because he's got a match against Roman at Crown Jewel, which.
Yeah, we spoke about that. Yesterday.
But
I
anyway.
read that anyway.
So everybody expects that to happen already. Everybody knows that Brock is going to be there. Like I said, who or what are they going to do? Now you think about it too, right? Like I said, SmackDown is going to be running the last 30 minutes of their show commercial free at the same time that Rampage starts. So during that time, they're going to want to do something that takes all the attention off of Rampage, which obviously isn't going to happen. But if they did something big enough that, like you said, tipped those scales, what could they possibly do? What's it going to be?
You see, it's like I said, obviously AEW has called out WWE. So this was the other way around. WWE are there with their plan. So I don't think they've actually managed to plan anything at the moment, because they're like, oh shit, like what the fuck? And they've just come out with like, yeah, for the last 30 minutes we're going to have ad free, So I reckon that what Vince normally does is does the last minute call, like, hey, I need you as soon as possible. Here's 6 digits. Like
Right. No, no, yeah, no, you're absolutely right. But like I'm saying, who's it going to be? For what reason? Like, again, it's got to be believable. Like, okay, you bring back someone for one night. That's one night. How are you going to keep that momentum going? Okay, so if you tip the scale in your favor, obviously the goal is to keep it there. So, like I'm saying, like, no, you're.
Look, he's been medically. He's in a bad position at the moment, right?
Yeah, he had a heart attack.
Oh.
Yeah, crazy. So obviously, like, Sean, but why would he ask Sean? Like,
they need something bigger.
The only okay. Here's the one person that I can think of, and again, if you guys are listening, make sure to drop in the comments what your opinion is, but also let me know if you agree with me on this. here's the one person that I could think of that they could bring back for one night only without him wrestling. Stone Cold.
Yeah.
Stone Cold would be the guy. He's literally the only guy that you could bring back without having an actual angle set up for him to where it would be like, holy fuck, Stone Cold's here.
Yeah, I agree.
I
don't know, but Undertaker? Good old Mark.
I mean, they could, but see, if you bring back Mark, like...
There's got to be a reason for it. Like, he just can't show his face.
Right. No, that's not true. He absolutely could show his face. And by him just showing his face, it would get the pop. Because you got to think too, right? So when Undertaker retired, he retired in front of zero crowd. There was nobody there to give him.
Ridiculous.
Oh, it made me so upset.
That'd be another time. That's another time.
Yeah. So when Undertaker retired, he retired in front of nobody. So you can imagine if he were to come out, the crowd would absolutely lose their shit because they're getting to see him for one last time or whatever the case may be. But at this point, I feel like it's the man has barely been retired. Like, let him enjoy his retirement for a little bit. But the only thing is that Mark has gone on record saying that if the boss ever truly needed him, he would come back in a heartbeat.
Yeah.
So it's like, fuck, man. Like, one of your most respected, absolute legend of a guy, you might have to fucking call him because you fucked up so bad.
Shit. I mean...
And the reason why I say Stone Cold is because he's still in some way actively involved with WWE. By doing the Broken Skull, right. So it wouldn't be too far-fetched to be like, hey, instead of doing a Broken Skull episode, we need you on SmackDown. You know?
Wait, you told me the other day about... what was his name? He was returning. He might return back to the ring. I can't remember his name. Santiago? I can't remember. I'd say his name.
Alberto Del Rio.
Oh, it was Alberto Del Rio.
Yeah.
I was thinking of what's his name. That's not his name.
So,
you know what I'm on about, though.
So Santino Marilla.
Santino, that's it. This is Santiano.
Yeah, no. Okay. Just for shits and giggles, if they were to bring back Santino for one night, I don't think it'd be like a holy shit. I think it'd be more of like a what the fuck. Like, why?
I like the fact that it's like, how'd you say his name? I was like, and you knew exactly what I was on about.
Right.
Excuse me.
So, yeah, I had to turn that light off. Sorry, everybody. There we go. So, basically, yeah, so, as I said before, like, I think the only person that they could actually bring back, and all he would have to do is show his face, just make an appearance, would be Stone Cold. Now, if you want to bring somebody back that could possibly have an angle, you could bring back The Rock, but okay. Now, if we're going, if we're going with the Rock angle, The Rock is pretty much single-handedly responsible for making SmackDown. You know what I mean? Like, he would always say the SmackDown is The Rock's show. You know.
Yeah.
So, yeah, dude. I mean, it's like I said, it really all comes down to, God damn this phone.
Shut up! Shut up!
Shut up, would you?
No, but I totally agree with you. But I don't actually know. See, the thing is, this is what I'm also trying to work out. If they don't bring someone back, then they're gonna have to do something very, very big.
Yeah, it's
huge. They're huge.
So like I said, they're keeping the last 30 minutes of the show ad-free, commercial-free, and running it specifically as soon as Rampage goes live or whatever. Like I said, what are they gonna do that's gonna take the attention off of Rampage? It's gotta be big. It's gotta be interesting. Like, what's it gonna be?
Then what can AEW do? I mean, don't get me wrong. And like, bro, I'm just gonna say this now. If they put the Lucha Brothers in a match, it's gonna be brilliant. I mean, I think that they are probably the top, 100%, alongside MJF. You know, Fozzy, Chris Jericho. You know, Kenny Omega. You know, and all that. So, wait, hold on. So, hear me out for a second, right?
All right.
So AEW just randomly come out and challenged WWE, should we say, right?
Sure.
So which means they're going to do something big. So what if they've signed someone and they're not telling anyone? But then I think Rampage is pre-recorded.
Okay, the only person that I could think of, and I'm sure that you could think of too, that would literally tip the scale for AEW would be Wyndham. If Wyndham were to show up on Friday, that would be... I don't know if it would be big enough to carry them over the edge, but it would certainly be very, very big. Now, if WWE does what WWE does and drops the fucking ball, and, you know, there's nothing super special, and AEW brings back, or not brings back, but brings on Wyndham, then yeah, they've got it right there. They basically won the fucking night, you know. As far as that goes, that's the only person I could see them signing to where everyone would be like, holy shit.
See, AEW should have called out WWE. Say, for instance, they're doing it on a Friday when CM Punk arrived. And they would have beat them straight up.
Oh, sure.
You know.
Yeah, but I don't feel like that was much of a surprise anymore, though, because everybody knew it was going to happen. It was just a matter of when. And
I mean,
you know,
it still surprised me. I was still standing there like, holy shit, he's actually back wrestling again. Bro.
Oh yeah,
I felt like a kid again. Like, right. I genuinely felt like a kid. I was glued to that fucking screen.
Oh yeah, and like I said, and I had this conversation with a couple of people, you know, who were like, "Oh, CM Punk's back. Who gives a shit?" Blah blah blah. It's like, bro, that's not the point. The point is that in two different promotions, WWE and AEW, they were chanting for him. The fans wanted him back. And AEW gave the fans what they wanted, which is something that WWE has not been doing for God knows how long. You know,
Attitude Era,
well, yeah,
roughly.
pretty much. You know, so, but like I said, like I don't feel like if AEW would have told WWE, hey, we're gonna smash you, and it's because CM Punk's back. Like I said, everybody knew that CM Punk was coming back. They just didn't know when or where. So they couldn't really have used that as a ace in the hole thing. There had been too many leaks and too many, CM Punk is gonna sign with AEW, just when, blah 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 blah. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So the biggest wild cards as of right now are Wyndham and Braun Strowman. Like, a lot of people are saying that Braun is going to go to Impact, and there's a very strong chance that if he goes to Impact, that Wyndham is going to follow him. Which, okay, cool. Like, but see, this question needs to be asked too. Does AEW really need Wyndham? Because of everybody that they already have.
See, when Malachi turned up, regardless, Malachi is fantastic.
Oh,
He's
yeah.
he's one of my favorites by far.
Absolutely.
But adding. Right, do you remember when I turned around and said to you, imagine if the lights went off and both of them just stood in the ring together?
That would be awesome.
Imagine that.
Yeah.
I don't know why, but I've always had the feeling that Wyndham and Malachi, if they worked together, they could pull something off big, demonic
sure.
wise or
For
whatever,
sure.
whatever you want to call it,
Right.
So I don't know. I just want it to happen. Obviously, I don't know if it will, but I just want it to happen. Malachi's there, and then Wyndham turns out to help him. And you're like, holy fucking shit.
Right.
I'm just going totally off fucking topic, but I don't care. It's what I want to happen.
No, you're good.
But I no, but I understand what you mean. I do understand what you mean. Do they? See, I think him going to Impact would give Impact that boost that they need. Like when both Hardys were in it. Sting. When they was all in Impact was quite big. Like AJ Styles and her Angle was even in Impact at one point. Like they've all been there.
Right.
They've just not really had that move up.
Yeah.
It's like I feel like they're slowly dropping down, so they need that boost again.
I don't feel like them going to Impact is really going to and this is going to sound corny. I don't think that them going to Impact is going to have the impact that everybody thinks that it's going to. Like, okay, so they're on Impact now, cool, but then you still have AEW and you still have the WWE. Everybody wants to see Wyndham. I just don't know. I don't know that it'll have that desired result that everybody thinks it's gonna have.
You see, with Wyndham as well, doesn't he technically own rights to the Fiend? Because it's his idea. Or did he not so much sell it, but
I'm pretty sure it was his idea, because I don't see WWE Creative being cool enough or smart enough to pull anything like that off.
so even the Demon from Balor, that was New Japan, wasn't it?
Yeah. Oh yeah, Demon Finn was always his. You know, but obviously when he left WWE, he left the Fiend gimmick behind. You know, which was, man, he could have taken that gimmick and gone anywhere. It was new. It was exciting. It was, you know, something that, you know, we haven't seen since Kane or Mankind. You know, guys who actually had the horror theme mask. You know, yeah, I just, I don't know. Like I said, as far as I'm concerned, they are the major wild cards right now. And I'll go on record in saying, you know, Wyndham being more so than Braun, for obvious reasons. But, you know, it's just, it's like I said though, does AEW really need Wyndham? Like, yeah, it'd be fucking brilliant if they have him, because it's like, okay, who else do you fucking need? You've got Alistair, you've got Daniel Bryan, you've got Adam Cole, you've got Ruby Soho, you know,
Lucha Brothers.
Lucha Brothers, you've got Kenny Omega, you've got
Chris Jericho,
Christian, Sting, Darby Allin, like Orange Cassidy, Matt Hardy. You've got plenty of star power. Like,
see, this is another thing I want to say about AEW as well. This is off topic, but I think the best heel is probably MJF I've ever seen. He's brilliant, honestly. Like, I'm sorry, but I wanted it to happen, but I didn't. You know, when I was telling you about the CM Punk's return, if it could turn his music on, it's all good, and then MJF, that would probably be the best, bro. I'd be super pissed, but I'd be super like, holy shit, like, you know.
I'm telling you what. If they would have gone that direction, MJF would have been the hottest fucking heel ever.
I think he is now. I really think he is now.
He very, very well could be. You know, I just think if they would have gone that direction with it, yeah, dude. Oh my gosh, the reaction. Phew. It would have been insane. It would have been insane. I literally think that people would have ended up throwing shit. Like, there would have been some chairs flying. There would have been some bottles thrown. Like, it would have been. But at the same time, dude, it would have been absolutely fucking brilliant. It would have been brilliant. Just, like you said, imagine his music fucking hits. Everybody's losing their fucking shit. And
no, he comes out with the hoodie.
Comes out with the hoodie. He's got his.
It's actually him.
He's got his back turned. He turns around. They shine a spotlight on his face. He rips off the hoodie. It's fucking MJF. Woo!
It's like who else did it? Ziggler done it for Undertaker, wasn't it?
No, it was for Chris Jericho, I think it was.
I'm sure he done it for Undertaker. Yeah, he did. He did it for Undertaker as well.
Did he?
Yeah. I'm sure he did. I'll have to double check, but I'm like 70% sure he dressed as the Undertaker and walked out in the Undertaker's jacket and everything.
Yeah.
Pretty sure it is.
Somebody did it for Chris Jericho. I know that. They came out and they had the wig on and his light up jacket, and when they turned around it wasn't Chris.
But Ziggler did that as well. He's done a few stereotypes, shall I say.
But I just, oh man, now that I think about it, like, oh man, that would have been crazy. Um, and this is another thing. Leave down in the comments what your reaction would have been if MJF would have come out as CM Punk. Like, oh my gosh. Wow. It would have been insane.
I wouldn't even know, I'd be super pissed off, but I'd be like, this is fucking awesome at the same time,
I don't think I would have been pissed off. I think I would have had that permanent fucking shock face. Like,
yeah, like not moving, like,
yeah,
not even talking about.
Like, did that just fucking happen? Holy shit.
Oh, someone else would have got fucking Moxley.
Oh, John Moxley.
Yeah, you didn't seem too impressed about that, Moxley.
No, I mean, I like Moxley, but I just...
yeah. He's alright.
He's alright.
But we're going totally off fucking subject now,
Right.
But like, back to the AEW versus SmackDown, I guess you can call it, it's going to be very, very tight.
Oh, yeah. It's going to be. So, basically, to wrap all this up, again, what it boils down to is since SmackDown has made it a point to say that they are going to stay live, no commercials for 30 minutes, what are they going to do? Why was it that they made that a point? They made a point to say we are staying live for those extra 30 minutes. What is it going to be?
We'll just have to wait and see, won't we?
That's right. We're going to have to wait and see. Guys, we hope you enjoyed this first episode of the Bevil podcast. Let us know what you guys think. Please, please, please leave some comments. Make sure you hit that like button. Hit that bell so you never miss a video from this guy over here.
This guy here. You're there for me.
Yeah, right. And this guy right here. Until the next time, man. We'll see you soon.